Pleasant, Maryland, Brian Ellaby.
There you have the introduction of the starting lineups for the Scarlet Knights of Rutgers and the Hawks of St. Joseph's. The lineups have been introduced, the fans are ready, and we're ready. We'll be back for the tap-off of today's Atlantic 10 Game of the Week in a moment.
For Sheriff Duval, who's Carl lacked the pickup to make the pickup, there's Gulf Super Unleaded, the gas with guts. For absent-minded Professor Doyle, who never remembered to check her oil, Gulf's full-service dealers check it for her. For Morton Mitchell, who demands the right gas, but at the right price, Gulf self-service makes more sense for less sense.
Gulf, everything we do makes driving better for you.
There's something special in a sunrise, a freshness in a flower's bloom, and something very precious in a child's twinkling smile. Maybe it's how God says, I love you. Sharing God's message of love is what we want to do. Join Rex Humbard and family Sunday mornings at 10.
Today's officials as assigned by the Atlantic 10 Conference, Gene Steratore on the left, Dutch Schempel in the center, and Dave Brody on the right. I'm Tom Mees along with Chuck Nagel and Red Auerbach. And gentlemen, this should be one heck of a basketball game today.
It sure looks like it. As we said, both teams are sky high. That means a lot to both of them.
Chuck, St. Joe's comes in off a win over St. Bonaventure on the road. Rutgers off a blowout victory over Penn State.
And I know, Tom, St. Joe's thinking of that win today. If they get it, they've won their 20th of the season. A big milestone for Coach Jimmy Boyle, but they want win number 20.
St. Joe's is controlling the tap. This is Bob Lojewski with the ball for St. Joe's. Is out to Maurice Martin, top of the key. Tony Costner, first shot of the day, and it goes in. Costner took only 6 shots the whole game against St. Bonaventure Thursday night.
Boy, he's big. He really is big.
Well, Tony Costner is a load, as they say. He's 6 feet 10 inches tall, well over 250 pounds. All right, the white-clad Scarlet Knights of Rutgers. Ellaby into Chris Remley on the baseline, off his fingertips and out of bounds. It'll be turnover, St. Joseph's ball, and the lead, 2-0. St. Joe Hawks, of course, looking for that 20th victory of the season today to vault them hopefully into the top 20 nationally. They have a big game with Temple next Saturday night. And now a turnover by Jeff Arnold. He tried a bounce pass to the baseline to Lojewski, and it never bounced up.
Well, that's a tough pass to go from the backcourt low on a bounce pass. That's a bad play.
2-0 St. Joe's just underway here in Piscataway. John Battle. We're going to call his name a lot today. He misses. Tony Costner rips off the rebound over Andra Bell. Backcourt for St. Joe's in the dark uniforms. Jeff Arnold, number 12. Maurice Martin, number 11. Lojewski, 44. And this is Kevin Springman, who's come on strong in the latter part of the year. He puts up the jumper no good, and the basketball out of bounds off St. Joe's. Rutgers ball.
You know, Rutgers is playing a zone, and they're collapsing real deep, daring St. Joe's to take the outside shot.
Perry, Steve Perry, number 54 for Rutgers. Ellaby will handle the bulk of the point guard chores today. And Steve Perry drives on Springman, no good, and Lojewski with a rebound. Brad, the St. Joe Hawks, a much taller front line today, could present problems for Rutgers, although here's the steal, and the Knights are breaking. Bounce pass to Remley. John Battle, no good. A whistle and a foul hold everything, and the foul is going to be on Steve Perry of Rutgers. Hold it, it's going to be on St. Joe's.
One thing happened out there that I didn't like. After the pass was picked off, Tony Costa walked back. You don't ever walk back on defense, ever. Because they can miss a shot, you can help with the rebound, as evidenced by the fact that they missed a couple. That's terrible.
Chuck, foul call on St. Joseph's, and the foul was assessed to Kevin Springman as John Battle hits a foul shot.
Tommy, there are 8 team categories in the Atlantic 10 Conference. 5 of those are led by St. Joe's. We mentioned they're the top rebounding ball club in the Atlantic 10, averaging almost 40 boards a game. Rutgers must play with them on the board to have a shot today.
And here's an early whistle against Chris Remley in the front court. He was bumping Lojewski. As Lojewski bringing the ball up the court, he gets whistled for the foul.
You know, I'm kind of surprised that St. Joe's is not breaking more. Right now, they're content to play a half-court game.
Lojewski does not get called for the travel. Controls, puts up the jump shot good, and St. Joe's takes a 4-1 lead.
You're like me. You're refereeing, too.
Well, I thought he shuffled his feet.
I did, too. I really did.
Ellaby to Steve Perry. Onderbell wearing the T-shirt indoors today. It is a little bit cool. John Battle down the lane, and it is no good. Rebound is finally grabbed by Perry of Rutgers. We have a whistle underneath. And is it going to be Costner? No, the foul is going to be assessed to Jeff Arnold. This telecast is authorized from the broadcast rights granted by the Atlantic 10 Conference and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of the pictures, accounts, or descriptions of this telecast without the express written consent of TBS and the Atlantic 10 is prohibited. John Battle's shot is prohibited that time. It bounces off the rim, and St. Joe's has the basketball, and they're going to have a backcourt violation.
One referee wouldn't call it, but the other one called it. They're both right on it. It was a backcourt violation.
Chuck, I think what happened that time is the man trailing the play got the ball in air, but you're still in the backcourt till you land. Is that right?
Certainly right, Tom. And the official, one of the officials, luckily saw that. A key matchup today, Tommy and Red's going to be Jeff Arnold on Johnny Battle. Battle 0 for 3 so far. Now he's 0 for 4, but Jeff Arnold will guard John Battle.
Nice pass in the Battle of the baseline. He missed the easy layup. May have looked easy. He caught that ball in midair. It's not as easy as it looks, I guess. Here's Maurice Martin. He's got a lane to the hoop. Off the glass, no good, and the rebound ripped down by Steve Perry. Rutgers is going to have to be aggressive on the boards today.
Well, they are.
And John Battle is aggressive off the other backboard, and it's a 4-3 ball game.
Key shot for Battle, Tom, as we've seen many, many times. And John gets off to a good start, so does Rutgers. He's 1 for 5. He needed that basket. Now they're back in the ball game. So John Battle with 2 points, but again, a big matchup. Jeff Arnold will be on Battle all day long.
Lajeski into Springman down low, and Springman with a turnaround banker off the board. He's a 6'10 senior.
They got a couple of big kids out there. They're tough.
Well, you got Springman at 6'10. You've got Costner at 6'10, and you got Lajeski at 6'7. Pretty tall front line. Steve Perry with the ball for Rutgers to Brian Ellaby. Remley back to Perry. Long pass to the open Ellaby. Well, Brian Ellaby doesn't shoot very often, but if you give him the open shot, he can stick it. And he did that time, and it's 6-5. St. Joe's by 1, and here's the steal. Perry, and he palmed the basketball, and he knew it.
That was a shame because he made such a good anticipated steal. It was very good.
Chuck, it's one of those things I think Perry was dreaming of the slam dunk and forgot where the ball was.
I think, Tommy, he saw John Battle in the corner of his eye come off for a 2-on-1 break, and the presence of Battle, I think, almost surprised him, made him travel.
Down low to Costner. He's double teamed, no. Springman tries to stuff the rebound, no. Lajeski gets it low, and he is blocked by Remley. Maurice Martin gets the rebound, and he misses the dunk shot. So they're going to call a foul on John Battle. Well, St. Joe's fellas using their board strength coming up empty.
Well, there's something.
Take a look at the last play, Red and Chuck, and look at the backboard action.
Well, here they are. He's got a shot. He gave it a pump, and he was fouled, but they didn't call it. Now there he wants to dunk it. He can't dunk it.
And they called a foul on that play.
And then they call a foul on that one.
Foul on John Battle, Tommy. His first. Maurice Martin going to the free throw line. Maurice, a pretty good free throw shooter, as is the entire St. Joe's ball club.
Well, Martin, I guess you hexed him, Chuck.
Yeah,
Martin misses off the rim.
You know what I can't understand is these kids that want to slam dunk with one hand off a rebound when all they got to do is touch it to put it in. It doesn't make sense.
Well, Maurice Martin makes 1 out of 2, and we have a timeout on the floor. 15 minutes, 48 seconds to go in a lively first half of action. Atlantic 10 game of the week. St. Joeseph 7, Rutgers 5. We'll be back with more as the Hawk takes the court in Piscataway in just a moment.
You know, the business world moves fast. I've found only one publication keeps pace with it every business day. Only this. The Wall Street Journal. Not weekly, not bi-weekly. Today's business news today. So you can use it today.
Get all the business news you need when you need it. Get the Wall Street Journal delivered for 6 months for $53. Phone toll-free 800-228-6565. That's 6 months, $53. Delivered every business day. Phone 800-228-6565. Subscribe now.
For Sheriff Duval, whose car lacked the pickup to make the pickup, there's Gulf Super Unleaded, the gas with guts. For absent-minded Professor Doyle, who never remembered to check her oil, Gulf's full-service dealers check it for her. For Morton Mitchell, who demands the right gas, but at the right price, Gulf Self-Service makes more sense for less sense.
Go, everything we do makes driving better for you.
People come to Atomic Tire stores to get the lowest prices on tires, but they get more. Like free mounting and static balancing. A free mileage guarantee on all radial and premium bias tires. There's even a full road hazard warranty available. And fast pit stop service gets you in and out in a hurry. All this, plus the absolute lowest prices on the best names in tires. Atomic Tires. Our name says tires, but we do more.
That gentleman waving his arms there in the corner in the dark recesses of the Rutgers Athletic Center, that's a St. Joe Hawk. The tradition has it that if he stops waving his arms, that the Hawk will die, and the St. Joe's fight song says the Hawk never dies. So this kid waves his arms from the time he enters the building until the time the game is over.
Well, he better be on scholarship. He's worth it.
All right, Rutgers trailing St. Joe's 7-5. Here's John Battle going to tie it up.
You notice how he had the hang time on that, waiting for the defensive man to declare himself. It was a beautifully done play, harder than it looked.
Shockey also got a couple of nice picks down low as Springman gives St. Joe's a 2-point lead again.
It appears, Tommy, the way things are going, it's going to be John Battle driving to the basket, either to shoot or dish off against the front line of St. Joe's. They like to go underneath so well, St. Joe's. They do it well, but they're a big ball club, and they're playing man-to-man. Even with 3 kids underneath that are 6'9", Red, they like to play a man-to-man.
There goes Battle again. We have a whistle on the pass, not the shot. And the foul will go against Jeff Arnold of St. Joseph's.
Well, the reason partially that St. Joe's is not breaking is because they feel they have such superiority under the boards. You see?
Well, Eric Riggins entering the game now for Rutgers, number 00. Go ahead. All right, Rutgers inbounds. Ellaby over to John Battle. He's double teamed in the corner. He dumps it back to Ellaby, and he'll take that shot. He changed it in midair. He was going to shoot it straight on, tried to shoot the banker, and he missed the shot. And steal by Riggins, but it's stolen right back from him by Jeff Arnold. A little bit of loose basketball at center court. 9-7, St. Joe's on top by 2. Costner tries to get it down low, but off his hands, and Riggins fronted him well that time.
Well, that's what we were talking about. I tell you, you better be a real good passer if you're going to feed the pivot through a bounce pass. As big as he is, why put it low, put it high?
Ed Zucker now in the game for Rutgers as well. He wears number 20 for the white and red clad Scarlet Knights. He has the ball now, top of the key. At 15 off the bench against Penn State. And here's a steal by Arnold. No, they're going to whistle him for a foul. They say hack Remley on the arm.
We talked, Tom, and read about the matchup. Arnold on John Battle. Watch Eric Riggins, who just entered the lineup against Tony Costner. Costner's got about 60 pounds on Eric Riggins, the freshman against the senior. But watch Eric Riggins underneath in that lane. He's in there sometimes for 4 or 5 seconds, not being called. But watch the way Eric Riggins tries to get the inside position on Tony Costner.
Well, he's quick. He's active.
He's got to use his quickness. There's no other way he can get around Tony Costner, but it's quite a battle going on.
Zucker, meanwhile, driving on Springman, puts up a wild shot off the glass. No good. St. Joe's has the ball in a 2-point lead. Arnold gives over to Mo Martin. Martin will take the baseline jumper. No good. Neither team really lighting up the shooting percentages, but when you get as close as Bob Lojeski did, you don't have to, and he jams it through. 4-point lead for St. Joe's. Into the middle to Ed Zucker, but he passes out beautifully to Ellaby, who's open and scores, and it's 11-9.
Nice pass by Eddie Zucker, tried to go to the hoop on Costner, and Lejeski was stopped. A nice bounce pass, and Ellaby, as you mentioned, Tommy, when he gets the open shot, is a very good shooter.
Good presence by Zucker there in the paint. A lot of guys may have panicked in that position. He did not. Here is Springman, a little jump hook, but he gets his own rebound, and Red St. Joe's looks like they can do whatever they want in the back.
Exactly, and what we were talking about, the zone has its advantages, but the big disadvantage is that you don't block out. You're playing for the ball, and that's why St. Joe's is rebounding as they want to.
13-9. St. Joe's on top by 4. 13:08 to go in the first half. Zucker driving on Springman. He doesn't make the shot, but he draws the foul on Tony Costner, who I think Chuck will trade off the foul because he just really intimidated the man driving to the hoop as Steve Perry's back in for Rutgers, and John Battle will sit down.
Tony Costner picks up 3 or 4 fouls a game, Tom, on those kind of blocks, only because, and it's Red, who had the greatest center alive, will attest, the center, he stays back and he picks up the mistake. Some guy gets by, Lejeski or Springman, he's got to block the shot. That was the case right there when Zucker gets by Springman, and Costner tries to block the shot, picks up his first foul.
Also in the game for Rutgers, another freshman in the backcourt, Steve Brown. He replaces John Battle.
Well, we were talking about Zucker, and he hasn't done but one good thing, and that was make this free throw. But I think this game, both teams are very tentative.
Yeah.
They're very tight.
Haven't seen many fast breaks.
Nothing. I think it's going to loosen up.
Also into the game now for St. Joseph's, James Flint, freshman guard. He has the ball there. Gives to Costner. Beautiful pass to Lojeski, but Lojeski backs into his man, Steve Perry. They call an offensive foul. I think they could have called a foul or traveling. Let's take another look at that play as Costner tried to
backdoor play, Tommy, that we see a lot. This time I don't think Lojeski was open, though. Tony Costner should not have given Bob the ball. He got the ball and had a charge. Good defensive position by Steve Perry. But on that play, if the man's not open, driving baseline, don't give him the ball.
Don't give him the ball.
James Flint in for St. Joseph replacing Jeff Arnold. Meanwhile, Eric Riggins had a big game against Penn State with 20 points. He hits the turnaround jumper to bring the Knights back within one. 13-12. Flint now working against Steve Brown, a pair of freshmen. Here's Mo Martin down low to Kevin Springman, who misses the bank shot. Rebound, Lojeski, elbows flying, and the ball will go to St. Joseph.
Again, they kill you.
I got to give that ball player credit. He made believe it was his ball. Whether it was or not, he convinced the official.
Look at this. This is child's play. The inbounds pass to Costner. He just pulls his way down the lane, lays it in, and is fouled to boot.
Again, I've got to disagree. Most teams zone it from out of bounds plays. I don't believe in it. I believe you got to play a man.
Foul was called on Steve Perry. And Tony Costner, Chuck, has a chance to give St. Joe's a 4-point lead. It's 15-12 now.
What Tony does best, he gets that ball in the lane. He's about 90% left-handed time. We saw him against George Washington when the Colonials beat him a month ago, and he really goes to his left almost every time, but still, he's a tough guy to stop.
Ball loose for a moment. Perry picks it up for Rutgers. Working against Kevin Springman. St. Joseph's playing the man-to-man defense. They've been going more to the man-to-man, according to Coach Jimmy Boyle, for the last few ball games. Riggins drives past Costner, and that time, he just left Tony Costner in the dust.
That was one beautiful play because he's a right-hander, and he went left-handed, and Costner didn't want to pick up his third foul, and he took advantage of it.
St. Joe's already has picked up 6 team fouls. Costner, meanwhile, gets it, goes to the hole. He doesn't make it, but Steve Perry fouls him as John Battle re-enters the game. He'll replace Brian Ellaby. And Tom Young is waving instructions at Steve Perry. I guess he's telling him, don't foul him every time to the hoop.
What he wants Steve Perry to do is precede Costner across the lane. Watch
the pass.
Throw underneath.
That's what we were talking about. You don't throw it to big men on the floor. Throw it to big men high.
We have a timeout on the floor. 11:41 to go in the first half of play. Our score, the St. Joe Hawks 16, the Rutgers Scarlet Knights 14. We'll be back with our Atlantic 10 Conference Game of the Week in just one moment.
For Sheriff Duval, whose car lacked the pickup to make the pickup, there's Gulf Super Unleaded, the gas with guts. For absent-minded Professor Doyle, who never remembered to check her oil, Gulf's full-service dealers check it for her. For Morton Mitchell, who demands the right gas, but at the right price, Gulf self-service makes more sense for less sense.
Gulf, everything we do makes driving better for you.
Tell me the truth, Sam. Does Reynolds Plastic Wrap really cling better than the leading brand?
Watch this. Reynolds Plastic Wrap and the leading brand.
Oh, the Reynolds holds its shape better.
That's the secret to Reynolds' super tight cling. But here's the real test. Wrap 2 pieces of cheese, wait 5 minutes, and see for yourself.
Seeing is believing, Sam.
Remember, for better cling, use Reynolds Quality Plastic Wrap, the plastic wrap professionals use.
Chuck and Red, as we look at some youngsters enjoying the action today in Piscataway, let's take a look at Eric Riggins enjoying a drive to the basket.
One place where Tony Costner may be suspect is outside defense. Great move, great first step by Eric Riggins. And once you get by a kid that size, it's tough to stop him. I think Tom Young will tell Eric Riggins, try to get Tony Costner outside, and boy, go by him.
Well, you know, Chuck, when you're that big, you're not going to be that agile, usually.
Springman to Maurice Martin. Martin drills one from the outside, but it hits the front of the rim, and John Battle is harassed in the backcourt. However, the official says that the ball was knocked out by Lojeski. So So it'll be Rutgers basketball. The Knights trailing by 2. Chuck?
Tommy, Rutgers the first half so far, 6 out of 12 from the floor. St. Joe's 7 out of 16. John Battle 3 out of 7. Springman leads St. Joe's with 6. So both ball clubs right around that 50% field goal shooting range.
Steve Brown, the freshman in the backcourt. John Battle.
Ooh.
I thought he was going to take that shot.
Notice St. Joe's now in the 2-3 zone defense. They've switched the defense to a 2-3.
Battle will take it this time, and he hits it. John Battle took it right up over James Flint. Flint hit the deck. No matter, ball went in, and we're tied at 16. Battle, one of the fine shooting guards in the country. Little Jimmy Flint. I say little because he is 5'9". Joeseph drives the left side on Perry. He doesn't want to pick up another foul, but he plays tough defense anyway. Into the low post to Costner, back out to Morton. Joeseph will take it. No good. Off the rim, and it is tipped up and in.
Costner.
Tony Costner, and gentlemen, the 45-second clock that last time down the floor was not working. It is now, as John Battle hits it. But the whole time St. Joe's had the ball, the last possession, the 45-second clock wasn't working.
You notice now, since St. Joe's is going 2-3 zone defense, John Battle 2 out of 2 from the outside. So they may have to watch that defense. If they want to stay zone, maybe go box and 1.
Box and 1.
We're tied at 18. Costner, beautiful pass underneath the Springman, and Zucker has to foul it.
That's
very good pass for a big man.
4 points St. Joe's has given up because of the dunk. Maurice Martin missed on the rebound. Now Kevin Springman with a 3-point play, but that's nullified. He goes up for the 2-hand dunk. He gets fouled. 4 points they've missed because of dunks.
Chris Remley, 6'9" junior out of Warren, New Jersey, into the ball game. Tom Young started.
You know, next time Battle gets the ball, it reminds me so much of Dave Mink. He could come at you, come to a direct standstill, and jump high and hang in the air and let that ball go with good release. You know, the people were cheering.
Yeah,
he didn't even hit the rim.
He threw up an air ball on the free throw. This time, when they're really harassing him, he makes it. So what does that mean? St. Joe's leads it by 1. Red, why do so many kids nowadays go for the stuff rather than the simple layup?
Well, I don't know. Maybe it's the color, or maybe they try to impress people or get a roar from the crowd.
Oh, there's a roar from the crowd on a jump hook by Andre Bell, who's not known as a big scorer, but his jump hook gives Rutgers a lead. Their first lead of the ball game at 20-19. Joeseph is open. He doesn't take that shot. That's out of his range. Remley is on him. Flint underneath the Costner. He's double teamed and the ball is stolen away, but they're going to call a foul. Good collapsing defense by Rutgers, and the foul is on Perry, and that's his 3rd. So Steve Perry is in foul trouble.
Boy, he really gambled on that one. I mean, just to catch the ball.
Eric Riggins comes back off the bench to replace Perry, and Tom Young is really upset, the Rutgers coach. Not at the call, I think. Just upset at the fact Perry got his 3rd foul. Tony Costner, averaging 18 points a game, did not play well at St. Bonaventure. Misses the foul shot. Tony Costner, it seems impossible, Red and Chuck. He had 1 rebound against St. Bonaventure Thursday night. Second shot good, we're tied at 20.
I tell you, though, he went up against a kid, Barry Munger, a 6'8" soft from St. Bonaventure, Tommy, who can do a nice job when he puts his mind to it. So you're right, it's almost unbelievable for a kid like Costner to get 1 rebound. But as Red will tell you, there are nights when nothing goes wrong or nothing goes right for a couple of guys.
Eric Riggins takes the jumper and he hits it.
Eric showing us a nice outside jump shot.
Yeah, he's getting better every game, inside, outside.
He's going to give you a season ticket, Red. Every time you show up, he does well. James Flint. Joeseph. Underneath to Springman. He is played well by Ellerby, but he has the presence of mind to put it in off the glass. Devin Springman with a nice turnaround shot. Banked it in, and we're tied at 22. Eric Riggins, by the way, in this ballgame, 3 for 3. Ryan Ellerby drives. Good defense by James Flint as he knocks the ball out of bounds.
Tommy, you talk about
that one.
St. Joe's playing the man-to-man defense. You know, with 2 games to go after this and then the conference tournament, Remley, a nice outside jump shot. He's a streak shooter. 2 games to go. They want to prepare themselves for that conference tournament, and they're going to have to play some excellent basketball to get to the final. So I think Coach Jim Boyle, knowing that, is maybe going man-to-man more now to prepare his ball club for that tournament in Morgantown.
Flynn back out to Costner.
Come on, get back in there.
Lojewski, he'll take the outside shot this time off the front of the rim, and rebound knocked out by Costner underneath the Springman. And he misses the layup, but he's fouled going up. I believe Eric Riggins got him on the arm.
You know what's going to be very interesting is see at halftime or when the ball game is over, you know the shot chart the teams take? Almost every shot you're going to see about 1 million dots in this position right here. Watch Springman eventually get the basketball.
Good play.
Every shot they've taken, I would say 9 out of 10 shots comes right there, right underneath the basket. Obviously, that's why they shoot so well from the floor. They take high percentage shots.
Well, Springman is on the line for 2. Remember, last time he threw up an air ball. This time he does hit the front of the rim.
Why is it some players will make that during a game, and when they got all day to shoot it, they blow it?
Who knows?
Good.
Well, he uses all the rim, the backboard, and everything and gets it through. Springman on the year is a 60% foul shooter, so he's 2 for 4 so far in this game. Rutgers on top by a point here, 24-23. John Battle is fouled as he goes down the lane. Maurice Martin got him from behind. And it will be 1-1 for John Battle. So with 7:57 left to go in the first half, both teams from now on will be in the 1-on-1 situation.
John Battle with 33 points. Tommy, his high for the year came off. He's coming off a 30-point performance in that 10-point win over Penn State. I don't think we've seen John Battle have a bad night. You know, he's had a couple of nights where he's only scored, and only for Jonathan maybe 18 points. But the way he carries his scoring load, he really comes out and plays 30 minutes of very, very intense basketball.
Well, John Battle makes them both. We have a timeout on the floor. 7:57 to go in the first half. Our score, Rutgers 26, St. Joe's 23. We'll be back to New Jersey in a moment.
For Sheriff Duval, whose car lacked the pickup to make the pickup, there's Gulf Super Unleaded, the gas with guts. For absent-minded Professor Doyle, who never remembered to check her oil, Gulf's full-service dealers check it for her. For Morton Mitchell, who demands the right gas, but at the right price, Gulf self-service makes more sense for less sense.
Gulf, everything we do makes driving better for you.
Your company's banker down with the flu just when you need him most? Give an uncongested thought to New Jersey National Bank. New Jersey National assigns not just 1, but 3 or more experienced bankers to your company's account. So, come sniffles or snuffles, vacations or whatever, a banker you know is always there when you need him. And that's nothing to sneeze at. Discover the New Jersey National difference. New Jersey National, the Red Circle Bank.
There's our situation at the Rutgers Athletic Center in Piscataway. I'm Tom Mees, along with Chuck Nagel and Red Auerbach, 26-23. The underdog Scarlet Knights are up by 3, and Red, you called it. In this conference, it's so tough to win on the road that no home team really should be considered an underdog.
I'll repeat that. You can tell by the actions of the crowd, whether it affects the referees or not. Sometimes it does, most of the times it doesn't. But the motivation is very high on both teams. But they still got to do something with Battles. He's still the key to Rutgers.
And Costner and the rest of that tall front line still the key for St. Joe's. As the Hawks inbound, and Costner has the ball go off his hands, but fortunately for him and St. Joe's, Wayne Williams is there to save the day. Williams is the man who hit 2 free throws in overtime to beat Rutgers in the Palestra a few weeks ago, and Williams gets the ball down low to Costner, and that's 2 points.
What I do, Tommy and Red, if I were guarding Costner, I'd get in the lane, make him go with the right hand to the other side of the hoop. Make him go right-handed. He's certainly going to beat the left-handed. Make him turn the other way and shoot with the right hand.
Costner that time he influenced
I don't think that the hand makes any difference. He's just so big, he just reaches over them.
Oh, Martin from the outside. No good, but there is Lojewski with a tough rebound. He doesn't make it, but the foul is going to be whistled on Eric Riggins.
Oh, that's what we were talking about. When you play a zone defense, you've got to pay the penalty on rebounding. You got to watch him get the inside track. He's out of the screen. Watch on the lower part of your screen. See the inside position he's got there? That's the price you pay for playing the zone.
Of course, when you play the zone, you're also vulnerable to the lob pass, and when you have people who can put the ball in there to guys like Lojeski, it's going to hurt you.
Well, that's partially true, but remember, they're playing the ball. Okay, so lob pass is a little difficult. But the worst thing about a zone is the rebounding. People think it's good for rebounding. I say it's bad.
Lojeski makes the first foul shot. You're Rutgers, and you're buoyed by the fact that you're only down by one. Remember this, Steve Perry and Eric Riggins both have 3 fouls, and both those ball players are on the bench. And you're going to need both those kids if you have a chance to beat St. Joe's today. Zucker over to Ellaby. This is Chris Remley. He loves to shoot from the baseline. Eddie Zucker, tough rebound, up and in, and gives Rutgers a 1-point lead again. He just went over the backs of 3 people without fouling underneath and put that one up and in. Maurice Martin on the left side, and Lojeski off the glass, and it curls around and in. St. Joe's back on top. Rutgers will take their time now and set up. Remley baseline. Battle's also roaming the baseline on the left side. Ellaby with the open jumper, no good off the rim. He fights for his own rebound, but he knocks it out of bounds. St. Joe ball.
You know something, Tom? This is not this is not a high-tension game. Therefore, the players are really not getting tired. St. Joe's is not substituting. They don't have to. Nobody's really tired out there.
Lojeski to Mo Martin, who's been there from the start. Over to Wayne Williams. Costner's still in there, roaming the baseline. He's Springman to Lojeski. Costner now right side, guarded by Andre Bell. Shot clock is almost a lot of time, 20 seconds. Here goes Lojeski, baseline. No, not even close, and Rutgers wants the fast break, but John Battle loses control. He still tries to force the break, and Maurice Martin still trying to stop him. Why, I don't know, but Martin picks up the foul.
No, that was very clever. That was very clever. Battles went in there. He go right into him. But the referee would call it on a defense. It's just one of those things.
Steve Brown back in the game, freshman out of Trenton. Chuck, that's one of those plays. If you're Mo Martin, I guess you really can't win.
Well, you don't want to foul a guy like John Battle, Tommy, unless you really have to. John Battle's not going to shoot from that spot. If he did, he'd probably make it. But Mo Martin's got to play better defense, ball back in the zone, and let Battle bring the ball down. Why foul a guy, especially like John Battle, who can both free throws? Why give him the free 2 points?
Well, one man wearing a T-shirt leaves, another man wearing a T-shirt comes in. Andre Bell leaves, and Mark Peterson, the freshman from Oak Hill, West Virginia, replaces him for Rutgers. John Battle makes 2 free throws, and Rutgers is back in front by a point.
Dumb foul.
And a dumb foul is right. Ed Zucker fouls Lojeski in the backcourt. And now Lojeski will go shoot 1-1.
You know, after every call, Tom Young gets up. I don't know if he's mad at his players, the referee, or the crowd, or himself.
I just wish I had the towel concession. He has a different towel every time you look around.
Well, you can't deny the fact that he's into the ball game.
Oh, yeah. All these coaches nowadays are. And, of course, nothing should surprise Tom Young. He's been around so long. I mean, to make him sound old, but he's a veteran coach. Foul shot no good, and Battle with the rebound. Rutgers up by 1. Chance to increase it to 3 with 5:40 to go first half. Steve Brown won't shoot very much. Tries to get it low into Peterson, and Costner with a silly foul because Peterson was not in position to make a move. Let's take another look at that bounce pass again into the low post.
I think Tony Costner, the first to admit there was a dumb foul. Watch Peterson, you're right.
It was even a bad pass. It didn't even come above his knees.
Yep. Brian Ellaby replacing John Battle. Now, unlike Jimmy Boyle to St. Joe's, Rutgers has to do a lot of almost continuous substitution to keep freshmen in here to battle that tall front line of St. Joe's. Peterson makes the first.
You know, that kid Peterson on the free throw line, you'd never dream it. But he has very good technique. Very good technique.
And Peterson makes them both. On the year, he's only a 57% foul shooter, but he made both that time. Rutgers up by 3 with 5.5 to go first half. Maurice Martin working man-to-man against Brian Ellaby for the moment. Springman, low post, and a nice move off the glass and in, and Remley just had to watch it. St. Joe's down by 1 again. Hawks going for their 20th win of the season. They've lost only 5, and of course, biggest win for them, Chuck, that great victory over DePaul at the Palestra.
They've played well since then, Tommy. I think that they've always been a good basketball club, but when they beat DePaul, and so convincingly, I think it really showed to each player individually what he could do for his club, and they've been tough since then, and I think that may have sewed them up an NCAA tournament berth.
Chris Remley, no good. Rebound nicely controlled by Kevin Springman. I like his work off the boards in this game.
He's playing well on both. Oh, that was a play.
Maurice Martin with a stop and go.
Oh, what a stop and go play that was.
And that's where you need a Riggins or a Perry Lowe to stop that kind of drive once he gets by the guards. Obviously, Peterson not in position that time to play the good defense.
Well, Martin's layup gives St. Joseph's the lead again, 33-32. I think this is the way it's going to be all the way down to the end. We should have quite a wrap-up here.
Well, you know, without battles, you see St. Joe's back in the zone.
Yep.
They figure nobody out there is going to really hurt him.
Ellaby, they're giving him that shot. Steve Brown as well. Zucker's open from 16 for a moment, doesn't take it. Remley on the baseline. He loves that baseline jumper, and he's not afraid to take it from way out. They go the other baseline to Zucker, to Remley, and that was a beautifully conceived play.
That Zucker made one beautiful play. He really made a magnificent pass. He faked the shot, and he just dished it right off.
Remley had the easy layup. But here's Costner on the other end. He goes to the glass. No, and a nice play by Peterson, who blocked the ball from behind. St. Joe ball out of bounds. And we have a whistle and a timeout on the floor. 3:39 left to go in the first half. A very entertaining ball game indeed, as Tom Young rallies his Rutgers troops around. Rutgers has the lead, 34-33, and as we go to commercial, let's watch that great layup again. A nice pass from Zucker to Chris Remley. We'll be back with more Atlantic 10 basketball in just one moment.
More officers of major U.S. corporations read the Wall Street Journal than read any other single publication of any kind. They started reading the Journal when they were on the way up. When are you going to start?
Get all the business news you need when you need it. Get the Wall Street Journal delivered for 6 months for $53. Phone toll-free 800-228-6565. That's 6 months, $53. Delivered every business day. Phone 800-228-6565. Subscribe now.
This high-energy experimental car stays efficient only if its spark plugs stay alive. Plugs capable of surviving surges to 38,000 volts. Motorcraft. Extended tip. Engineered to conserve fuel, Motorcraft Extended Tip ruthlessly eliminates power-blocking sooty carbon without eliminating itself in the process. Quality parts for all makes of cars. Motorcraft exceeds the need.
St. Joe Hawk leaving the floor, and the Rutgers fans are glad to see him leave. Somebody took the basketball away from him. Anyway, Rutgers leading here 34-33 with 3:39 to go in the first half. I'm Tom Mees with Red Auerbach and Chuck Nagel. And guys, your impressions of the game so far?
I'm impressed, Tom, obviously, with St. Joe's, the way they can get the ball low. For that man right there, Jimmy Boyle, they get the ball low and they play well. They know their strengths and they use it. I'm impressed so far with Rutgers not having, for a time, Battle, Riggins, and Perry in the lineup, and they're up by 1 point.
Red very, very well contested the game as we thought it would be.
I think that was a good analysis. It answered it.
All right, Bobby Lojeski takes the jumper. No good. Lojeski hasn't shot well from the outside today. Rutgers 3-on-2. Zucker, nice turnaround move, but he misses the shot. And Lojeski hustling back on defense gets the rebound. He didn't quit after he missed the jumper. He got back. Meanwhile, from the outside is Wayne Williams. No good. A rebound by Remley, who says, "Get out of my way." Rutgers comes back. 1-point lead in the basketball. John Battle's still on the bench. Zucker gets a pass down low, and they're going to call jump ball, and it will still belong to the Scarlet Knights on the possession. Take a look at that play one more time.
Pretty good piece of defense, I think, Red. We'll see the pass to Zucker and watch.
That was a beautiful block.
From our angle, it was. You're right.
Well, Rutgers will have the basketball. John Battle leads Rutgers, and he's back in the game. He's got 13 points in the day. For St. Joe's, Kevin Springman has 12, Tony Costner 10. Battle gets the inbounds pass. And Ellaby has a dribble off his foot and out of bounds. Wasn't looking.
Well, he wanted to pass him before he caught it.
Yep.
One other observation. If St. Joe's does not hit from outside, they'll probably get beat. He's got to hit some of those shots.
Costner, meanwhile, hit some of those shots from the inside. A nice pass in by Mo Martin. And Tony really can't be stopped by Rutgers in deep, and he gives St. Joe's a lead by 1 again. Andrew Bell wide open on the baseline for Rutgers. Nobody's getting him the basketball right now. Ryan Ellaby, tough bounce pass, really inadvisable, stolen away. And can Costner get it? Yeah, but he couldn't save it.
That was like a truck.
He saw those 2 points light up in his eyes, and he said, I got to get there, I got to get there. But still, he had the steal, Tommy, although they get the ball back, and Rutgers does. It was Costner that had tapped the ball away originally, and for a guy 6'10", 250 to motor that way, not bad.
That wasn't good either.
Just don't get in front of the guy at that stage.
Ryan Ellaby nails the outside jumper, and Ellaby gives Rutgers the lead on the seesaw, 36-35, with 2:05 to go first half.
This has to be a big boost for them, Red, playing without Riggins and Perry and still being 1 point up. If they can, go in the locker room at this stage, they're in good shape.
Tony Costner with another layup gives St. Joe's the 1 point lead back. Well, he gets the ball down low and forget it.
Now you know why he shoots 54% from the floor.
He doesn't try.
Well, those percentages mean nothing.
Why is that?
Because they don't measure where you're shooting from or under what conditions.
Ed Zucker gets a nice speed down low, misses the layup, and a rebound.
Let's see if they break.
Mo Martin.
They're going to hold up.
Oh, here they go. Lujeski, what an acrobatic move, and they're going to call him for the charge.
John Battle got away with one heck of a play. If we get a replay on this, you watch John Battle, and you tell me if this kind of contact should knock a man down. Watch John Battle right here.
Exactly what I was thinking.
Watch John Battle. Come on now. Come on, the official should have seen that.
Well, now
one.
wait a minute. They have a lot of nice acting schools in Washington.
That's right. The John Barrymore School.
Oh, matter of fact, he initiated the contact by putting his hand out. Oh, boy.
Well, St. Joe's still has the 1 point lead, but not for long as Chris Remley, from his favorite spot, baseline either side, hits the jumper.
I think he likes the left side of the basket better.
1 minute to go in the first half, and Rutgers and St. Joe's locked up in a tight one as we thought they would be. Martin tried to get it down low.
That pass was excellent, except it was too hard. It's like I've always said, no pass is a good pass unless somebody catches it. Now people would start to think that the guy had bad hands and missing it, but it was the fault of the passer.
Under a minute to go at halftime. Chuck Nagel will be talking with Teresa Gretz, the women's basketball coach here at Rutgers. You know, the Atlantic 10 women's basketball tournament being contested next week at Penn State University. And we'll have some information about one of the top teams in the Atlantic 10 in women's basketball, Rutgers University, who will be playing on this floor right after this game against West Virginia. Chuck will be filling us in on that women's tournament at halftime. Ed Zucker to Ellaby now as Rutgers Red is holding for the final shot of the half with 9 seconds to go on the shot clock. And it's stolen away by Maurice Martin of St. Joseph's. Re-stolen by Battle. He throws it up. Had to because the shot clock was running down. And with 10 seconds left, St. Joe's, they can make the last shot. 5 seconds left. Wayne Williams on the baseline. He nails it, and that's the end of the first half of basketball. As Williams does in Rutgers again, at least for one half of basketball, hitting the last second jumper. Our score at halftime, St. Joseph's 39 and Rutgers 38. And Red, first half of play, your impressions?
Well, my impression is this, that St. Joseph's got to shoot more from outside, although they are getting the ball in deep. They're overpowering them. They're overpowering them. Now, in the front, on the opposite side, as far as Rutgers is concerned, they're playing their regular ball game. St. Joe's is trying to counteract with occasional zones, occasional man-to-man, but I still believe that Battles is the key. When they start double-teaming him and so forth and so on, Zucker, Remley, Riggins, and Ellaby are going to get free and get their percentage of shots, and they got to hit it.
Okay, Red. We'll be back with more. Our Joe's leads Rutgers 39-38, and Chuck and Red, we have some statistics, and why don't you gentlemen take care of analyzing what we see here on the screen?
Go ahead, Chuck.
Well, I'll tell you, points obviously the big thing on the scoreboard. A 1 point St. Joe's lead, but not necessarily that close in the rest of the stats. Field goals there. Look at rebounds, Tommy, 11 for St. Joe's. Rutgers just 6, which obviously has given St. Joe's the lead. Turnovers, 9 for St. Joe. So I think, Red, the Rutgers press has made St. Joe's turn the ball over several times.
Well, up to a point, because St. Joe's is a big team out there. But I was talking over here to Tom, and we were mentioning that St. Joe's hasn't made one field goal past 14 feet from the basket. So if Rutgers boxes out, gives them that outside shot, takes that kind of gamble, they can walk away with this ball game.
One correction on the halftime stats. We have the official stats here. Rebounding, St. Joe's has a big edge, 24-11. 24-11. And when you consider that Steve Perry and Eric Riggins have been sitting on the bench in foul trouble, it's no wonder, as Red, that front line of St. Joe's is very formidable off the boards to any team, let alone a team like Rutgers, which we know isn't that strong a rebounding team.
Well, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to give Rutgers one shot, get the ball, and you would think that they were going to run and break, but they're not. This is a half-court basketball game.
Sure is.
Tommy, I think what we saw at halftime on the screen were offensive rebounds, which again means that St. Joe's has scored a lot of their points off the offensive rebounds, but you're right, total rebounds, not correct at halftime, it's 24-11. Obviously a big margin for St. Joe's.
All right, the St. Joe Hawks inbounding the ball. Mo Martin, number 11, will start in the backcourt along with Wayne Williams. He will start. He did not start the ball game. Here's a pass into Tony Costner, leading scorer for the Hawks in the first half.
See, they won't take that outside shot.
No, they try to get it down low into Springman, and he goes out of bounds. Rutgers ball.
Oh, we were talking about that bounce back. You see that ball spin? He couldn't hold it.
Now we take a look at the shot chart, and Red, you're right. No shots from any further out for St. Joseph's than 13 or 14 feet.
I was lucky, I guess, right.
You're lucky, yeah. After all these years, you're going to tell me you're lucky? There's a bounce pass from Maurice Martin after the steal, beautifully controlled by Lojewski, who lays it in and gives St. Joe's a 3-point lead. Rutgers, though, right back. John Battle down the lane.
He called the walking.
They're going to take it away because of the walk.
It was walking, but I thought they'd let it go.
One thing St. Joe's does extremely well, we've seen it done once this half, but several times the first half, they fill the lanes, Red. Even with Costner, Lojewski, and Springman, the big men get the ball off the board. They also fill the outside lanes well when they do fast break.
Mo Martin back to Williams. Bounce pass again down to the low post to Springman. He forces the shot up. No good, but a foul on Steve Perry. That's his fourth. Let's go back to John Battle's drive to the basket, see if we can see the travel.
Yeah, there it is. 1, 2, 3,
4
steps.
That may even be a walk in the NBA.
He's been watching too many films of Earl to Pearl Monroe. Earl used to have drives like that.
I'll tell you, they're still throwing that bounce pass to the pivot, and they're having trouble with it.
Tommy, Steve Perry, I think you may have mentioned fourth personal foul, so we're not going to see Steve Perry, I don't think, until probably the final 7 or 8 minutes. So he's going to sit out 11 minutes now.
Well, he wasn't doing that much anyway today, so it's just as well.
Springman made the first shot, misses the second. Rutgers trails St. Joe's now by 4. It was 39-38 at halftime. It's 42-38. The Hawks with a minute gone in the second half. John Battle back to Zucker. Eddie Zucker starting the second half. He did not start the ball game. Battle open for a second. Williams is on him fast. Rutgers taking their time in a 2-3 zone defense employed by St. Joe's.
Except for Battle. Oh!
Nice move.
What a fake!
He left Wayne Williams in the dust, didn't he?
He faked the pass, and when Williams turned his head, he didn't know where he was. See if we can look at that again. Watch his head. He faked over there. Williams turned his head, number 20. He went right by him on the left-hand side.
That's called a see-ya play, because when you turn around, the other guy is gone. And Battle ends up on the foul line shooting 2. The foul was called not on Wayne Williams, but on Kevin Springman underneath.
Oh, that's what you call concentration. He lost his concentration.
Second shot by Battle is good, draws the Knights of Rutgers within 2 at 42-40. Maurice Martin, who has had on occasion some big games from the outside, shooting for St. Joe's, has not taken many shots today. Instead, he's dished off to Costner. That time, Tony blew the layup, and Rutgers comes up with a turnover. Ellaby, top of the key, and drives on in. He'll take it. Wild shot, no good, and Springman is there for the easy board. Over to Wayne Williams, and the bank shot is good, and it's 44-40 St. Joe. Neither club, when they get the rebound, is looking for the long outlet pass.
No, they're not. It's all half-court game.
Here's Remley baseline.
Boy, they're sure packing that zone in there.
Sure are. Remley will take it. Off the back of the rim, and now St. Joe's wants to run. Maurice Martin one-on-one with Ellerby. He forces up the jumper, and it goes in off the rim.
That's where a 6'5" guy in the break, one-on-one against a guy about 6'1" or 2, obviously has a big advantage. Tough angle right there without the backboard, but they're up 6 right now, and I think they're starting to play pretty good basketball.
John Battle with an air ball that clanks off the backboard. That thing didn't hit any part of the basket. St. Joe's all of a sudden can pull out to an 8-point lead. Here's Costner, and he is fouled by Anderville.
That was a bad pass, and luckily Costa had good hands and got that ball. You know, sometimes when a guy makes a blind pass, let's see if we can see that. He makes a blind pass. Now watch. Right into the pit. A blind pass. Nobody expected it, least of all his teammates.
But St. Joseph's Costner is the beneficiary. He's fouled, but then misses the foul shot. This is the largest lead for anybody in the game at present, 6 points at 46-40. Of course, the fans behind the backboard waving their arms and throwing the signs up there to try and distract Tony. This time he hits the foul shot, 47-40. Ryan Ellerby and John Battle in the backcourt for the Knights. Eric Riggins in the ball game, 0-0 with a t-shirt on. Seeing a lot more of that these days. Remember the old days, Red, when they all wore those shirts with the sleeves on?
That's because the shirts were dirty. Now they don't have to wear them.
Patrick Ewing, probably the most notable ball player that does that on a regular basis. And Riggins puts up an air ball, and St. Joe's has the ball and a chance to increase the lead to 9. Costner, good pass to Springman, but he misses, and Costner's limping. Tony Costner's hurt. His left knee. He's down on the floor. He's not even in the forecourt. We have a whistle and a foul on the other end on St. Joe's. But Tony Costner is holding his left knee in pain. I think he's nodding his head. Maybe he'll be all right. Maybe he just turned his ankle. Let's hope it's not a knee. Getting off his sweat strap.
It's his knee. It's his knee, all right.
Dave Slattery, number 40, will replace him. Let's follow that last play and see if we can see what happened.
There he is.
Well, he was sort of hopping on one foot after that shot.
He hit the guy. He hit the guy with his knee. He hit the defensive man's thigh with his knee.
Purely accidental.
Oh, yes.
And hopefully, of course, we probably won't see Tony the rest of this game, but hopefully he'll be all right. Because that tournament coming up, St. Joe's needs him. He's really in pain, the trainer working on him. Dave Slattery into the ball game. It's only taken 13...
He's probably the most surprised ball player of anybody. In fact, he is now in the basketball game less than 1 shot per game. So an ill-used substitute, but he'll have to come in now and do the job on Riggins and Perry.
Yeah, but he's good looking with that T-shirt.
Yeah, he's got the dark T-shirt.
Because he likes to keep warm on the bench.
John Battle hit the first foul shot, and he hits the second at 47-42. One other Atlantic 10 game going on as we take a look at the trainer working and icing down Tony Costner's knee. Halftime, Duquesne leads Penn State 37-29 in Pittsburgh. All right, Maurice Martin. Back to Wayne Williams. He's the one fellow for St. Joe's that doesn't hesitate to shoot from outside in this game anyway, but he misses. And now Rutgers has a shot to climb back within 3. Here's Remley. In and out and in and out and in again. The old home court bounce, I think they call that.
Well, it's a little out of luck, but that's good.
And a whistle and a blocking foul on Ed Zucker on the other end. He moved in front of Maurice Martin, and he paid the price that time, drawing the foul. We have a timeout on the floor. 15:45 left in this ball game. Our score, St. Joe Hawks 47, Scarlet Knights of Rutgers 44. We'll have more Atlantic 10 basketball in just a moment.
I got where I am in business on my own. And now that I have some money, I invested on my own. where I think it will work hardest for me. The only help I depend on is here, in Barron's. Week after week, Barron's can open your eyes to investment opportunities you didn't even know existed. Stocks, of course, and bonds, and commodities, options, real estate, mutual funds, precious metals, foreign markets. Anywhere and everywhere you can put your money to work to earn more money. Every week, Barron's tells you more than what has happened or is happening in investments. Barron's tells you what will happen. A smart investor can take it from there.
You can get the next 26 issues of Barron's for $36. Just call 800-238-7000. Call today, and you'll also get as a bonus the helpful booklet, The ABCs of Market Forecasting. That's 26 issues of Barron's, plus the bonus booklet for just $36. Call 800-238-7000 now.
Lomax Rug Company is having its 79th anniversary sale. And the sky's the limit on all the latest in colors, patterns, and styles. Visit the Lomax Mill Building with its 87,000 square feet of carpeting on display. We're open to the public. Installation is available and credit terms accepted. Visit our $5 a square yard room with big carpet value. Lomax Rug Company, 2900 Jasper Street in Greater Kensington, where great-grandmother bought her carpet.
All right, there's a look at Tony Costner having that left knee iced down on the St. Joseph's bench. And Red, you were making a remark that you think Costner will be back in this ballgame.
I think he will, definitely.
All right, he was flexing his knee quite well just a few moments ago. And St. Joseph's could not inbound the ball within 5 seconds. It is a turnover. Chuck?
Sometimes I think, and Red, I'm sure you've had injuries that to your players that can attest to this. It helps to get back in the ballgame as quickly as you can. The longer you sit on the bench, the stiffer it may be.
That's right. But sometimes when you do go back in the game, the next day, you might be out for a week.
A few moments ago, St. Joseph's led 47-40, and now it's 47-44, and Rutgers has a chance to get within one, and here's John Battle. Oh, the vertical leap he got, and the shot is good, and Tony Costner is waiting to come back in right now.
That's what we were laughing about.
I owe you $5, Red. You won your bet. Bob Lojewski on the left side. Off the rim, no good, but recovered by Williams. The Springman driving the baseline. Beautiful body control by Kevin Springman.
Once again, they score off the offensive rebound.
That's right, the offensive rebound paying off for the Hawks. And they quiet the crowd a bit. 49-46 to score. Here goes Eric Riggins to the hole. No good, but a whistle and a foul is going to be called on Dave Slattery. And here comes Tony Costner back into the ball game, and that is a welcome sight for St. Joe Hawks fans and for Coach Jim Boyle.
I think that Dave Slattery can't wait for Costa to graduate.
I thought you were going to say he couldn't wait to get back to the bench.
Well, I'll tell you, he's not in shape properly. He don't play enough.
Hey, you got to play to be in shape.
You know, it's no secret why Rutgers will obviously stay in that 2-3 zone defense and pack it back. As you mentioned, Red, we saw the halftime, or we got a chance to appear to see the halftime shot chart. St. Joe's will not beat you from the outside. They are not a domineering ball club 20 feet away. They like to get it underneath, and they do it very well. Rutgers knows that, and to be effective, St. Joe's must get the ball in the paint. From the outside, they're just an ordinary ball club.
Eric Riggins missed the first foul shot, hit the second, and it's 49-47. Now Costner inbounding, and pressure in the backcourt by Remley. Now Scarlet Knights drop off. Maurice Martin top of the key. Lojewski. He'll shoot it from the right side. Got a nice touch off the glass, Bob Lojewski.
Yes, he does.
51-47 on the other end. John Battle to the hole. He doesn't make the basket, but he draws the foul. And the foul will be on Wayne Williams, number 20.
Pretty good ploy right there, I think, for Rutgers, whether the St. Joe's makes or misses, to get the ball down the floor as quickly as possible. Make them play defense, make them go backwards 94 feet. Watch Battle come down the floor, Red, and they want to make St. Joe's play the entire floor.
Yes, that's right. Ella beat a battle, but I will say this. There's nothing that helps you more as to get a basket or a foul right back after the other team scores. That's a great psychological play.
Well, how many times we have seen that in the professional game, especially where the fellows are coached to do that all the time. There's always a cherry picker going back.
That's right. There it is.
And St. Joe's now with only a 2-point lead. Lojewski off the glass again, off and in. Hit it over Riggins. And they get the 2 points right back.
Yeah, they're trying it again. Oh, that was a
nice steal. Maurice Martin took the ball right away from John Battle. He really never had a chance to catch that pass. St. Joe's with a 4-point lead in the basketball. Lejeski left side, doesn't take the banker. Underneath the Costner, look out.
What happened to that bad knee?
It hurts only when you don't have the ball. Once you have the ball, there's no better therapy.
When you get that ball that close, your knee is better.
We have a whistle and a foul now on the other end. Back to live action. Costner was called for a foul, and he jumped up and down. He couldn't believe it. That's Tony Costner's 4th personal foul. So he may have to do some sitting down whether he likes it or not. John Battle on the day, 21 points. 5 of 10 from the field. 4 personal fouls on Costner. And here comes Slattery back in the game a lot sooner than he thought he might.
He may be in a lot better shape when this game's over, Red, than he was before it started.
He'll have to be.
All right, Brian Ellaby right into Zucker off the glass and in, and he's fouled. Oh, what a play by Ellaby and Zucker.
You know, it's a smart play. You know, as a coach, Red, you got to set in this play. You know Costner's coming out. You know Slattery's going to come in the ball game. What does Rutgers do? We'll see it. They go right to the man Slattery's guarding for the 3-point play. Watch this.
They're playing the zone.
Right into Zucker.
I don't approve of zone out of bounds. I really don't. And they do it all the time.
Well, Tom Young saw something there, and the Knights took advantage of it. However, the 3-point play is not culminated. The foul shot is missed. St. Joe's maintains the lead at 55-51. Mo Martin. Bounce pass to Springman off his foot and stolen away by Rutgers, but knocked out of bounds off the leg of Eric Riggins and back to St. Joe.
Cardinal sin, the big man getting the pass, putting the ball on the floor. If you're 6'10" like that, why not get the ball, turn and face the basket, and then put the ball on the floor, but not right away.
Martin drives on Ellaby, passing to the open Wayne Williams. No good, rebound Riggins.
They just don't have any shooters. Watch this play.
Here's Battle. That one is good.
I call that one.
John Battle, you can almost tell when he's going to shoot the ball by the way he carries himself down the floor. It's 55-53. It's a 2-point game again. Wayne Williams from the baseline. No good. Rebound Lejeski, no good. But a lot of contact underneath, and Riggins is called for the foul. Take a look at the rebounding and the body banging underneath.
What St. Joe's does so well, great defense by Riggins, forcing Williams to take the off-balance shot. Lejeski almost puts it in, gets fouled right there, I believe, by Riggins.
Yep.
Yeah, but they called it on a tip. It's only a 1-shot foul.
Well, let's amend that foul call. They called a foul on John Battle. It was his second foul, and here's a turnover off the body of Slattery, and it'll be Rutgers basketball.
Call like that, it pays to be playing at home. You know, one of those calls where it's dead even. You say, hey, with Tom Young, I got to call. I got to go your way, Tom.
Are you insinuating, Chuck?
Close call. The crowd loves it.
All right, they are on their feet at Piscataway, cheering for their Scarlet Knights. This would be an upset indeed if Rutgers beat St. Joseph's this afternoon. Left side Battle, look out. Off the rim, no good, but Zucker with a rebound. Nice move, and he goes to the basket.
He does that well, doesn't he? He likes to get that ball, go back up off the board. We saw him do it Thursday night against Penn State.
He didn't talk about it.
And look at this, Zucker bear hugs Maurice Martin in midair. Martin was fouled, and I guess Eddie Zucker was trying to keep him from getting hurt. As Jeff Arnold, who hasn't played in a long time, Chuck, comes back into the lineup.
You notice who he comes in for? He comes in for Tony Costner. Costner on the bench was with his 4th foul, but now they take Slattery out. Excuse me. They're going to go now almost looks like with a 3-guard offense. They were very successful with 3 guards, Tommy, against DePaul. They may try it again.
There's Maurice Martin, a rare outside shot.
First outside shot of the game.
Yep.
First one.
And St. Joe's is on top again by 2, 57-55.
What that 3-guard offense does, it allows Maurice Martin to become the shooting guard and not the playmaking guard.
Eric Riggins trying to drive to the basket is fouled by Martin before the shot. That is the 17th foul on St. Joe's, though. We'll have 1 and 1.
I think Riggins is going to be a real good basketball player. I mean, he fakes the shot nice. He goes either left or right, and he throws these big guys off, and he plays the pivot pretty good. He fights in position. He's got a good career ahead of him, that kid.
Well, Eric Riggins, a freshman, 6'8", out of Passaic, New Jersey. They'll have 1 and 1. First one clanks off the rim, no good. A fight for the rebound. And I'll tell you what, it was Wojcicki and Springman fighting each other for the rebound, and they knocked it out of bounds. The Rutgers gets a big break there. Doesn't that drive you mad as a coach?
Somebody ought to teach Riggins how to shoot free throws. He's bent down. Why bent down so far?
Meanwhile, Rutgers almost turns the ball back over, but Chris Remley saves the day. 12 minutes, 10 seconds left to go in the game. St. Joseph's at Rutgers leading by 2. Rutgers has a chance to tie. Ellaby is open, he'll take it. The rebound to Wojcicki.
They won't run. They won't run.
Well, St. Joe's going to set it up. Wojcicki and Remley on the baseline. 3-guard offense now for Jimmy Boyle's team. Jeff Arnold. Here is from the outside again, Maurice Martin.
It's the same guy.
Yep.
You notice, though, with the 3 big men in there, Maurice did not take the jump shot. Now in the 3-guard offense, he's designated to be the shooter, and he scores a lot of his points when they take out one of the big men.
Well, Mo Martin is averaging nearly 15 points a game, so you know he's got to be doing some shooting from the outside, at least you would think. A missed shot underneath by the Scarlet Knights, and St. Joe's has the rebound easily and has a chance for a 6-point lead here. A few moments ago, this game was tied. Mo Martin again from the outside. He feels the magic now. 3 in a row for him.
Boy, 1 second the score's tied. Now it's a 6-point ball game.
61-55. St. Joe Hawks showing some outside shooting that we haven't seen so far today. John Battle drives past Wayne Williams and draws the foul. And Andre Bell gets set to come into the ball game. He'll replace Eric Riggins.
If I was John Battles, I'd go every time to the hoop. The referee blows the whistle no matter what.
Well,
if you watch it.
Sometimes reputation helps you out there.
Oh, yeah. It's like they don't call walking on the stars.
Right.
They call walking on the rookies.
John Battle shooting 1-1. And he misses the first half. I'll tell you, Rutgers has got to have all of those to stay in this game against a much better rebounding team from St. Joseph's.
I think that missed free throw by Battle, a sign that he is tired. You see the good ball players get tired and just not bend their knees. You see Springman, easy 2 points, and all of a sudden now an 8-point lead. Maybe a timeout here by Coach Tom Young to rest some of his players.
Yep, Tom Young is going to call timeout right now. 10:27 left to go in this basketball game, and St. Joseph's has opened up the largest lead of the day. St. Joseph's 63 and Rutgers 55. We'll be back to see if the Scarlet Knights can stage a comeback. We'll have more Atlantic 10 Conference basketball in a moment.
For Sheriff Duval, who's Clown lacked the pickup to make the pickup, there's Gulf Super Unleaded, the gas with guts. For absent-minded Professor Doyle, who never remembered to check her oil, Gulf's full-service dealers check it for her. For Morton Mitchell, who demands the right gas, but at the right price, Gulf self-service makes more sense for less sense.
Gulf, everything we do makes driving better for you.
I'm Phil Rizzuto for the Money Store, where qualified homeowners can borrow up to any amount for any purpose.
Right now, I have a mortgage loan at a high rate of interest. Now that interest rates are generally lower, what can I do?
The Money Store can refinance your loan with a lower interest, long-term fixed payment plan that could mean substantial savings.
For information about homeowner first or second mortgage loans, call the Money Store toll-free. Dial 1-800-221-9000.
Other games today in the Atlantic 10. Penn State at Duquesne going on at this hour. George Washington tonight will play at St. Bonaventure. Rhode Island will be in West Virginia in less than an hour from now in Morgantown. Temple is playing LaSalle. That's a non-conference game this afternoon. At halftime, Duquesne leading Penn State 37-29, that game in Pittsburgh. And let's take a look at the last play by St. Joseph's, guys, where Kevin Springman gets open underneath.
Well, he penetrated very well here, and as they switch, he just dished off. That was what they call similar to a pick and roll. The guard made the play.
And Kevin Springman, of course, rolling off and doing his job, waiting there for the open pass. And so you got to lick your chops when you get the ball in that close.
Well, when you play so much zone and you got a man-to-man situation there, you don't know how to react.
That pick and roll, a play that made so many ball players, both in high school, college, and the pros, great players. You don't see it much anymore, Red, and that's why down here, the plays that appear to be that pick and roll type play very, very frequently free up the big man for that bounce pass.
It's hard to do because there's no defense.
All right, Rutgers down by 8, but still a lot of time left to go in this ball game, of course. Just over 10 minutes left. Steve Perry back to the ball game for the Scarlet Knights. He's playing with 4 fouls. Ellaby on the left side.
Tom, Rutgers 5 out of 12 so far this half from the floor. St. Joe's 10 out of 17.
Shot clock down to 5. Somebody's got to throw it up. Steve Perry does, and he hits it. Well,
you know, I've been watching the St. Joe's defense. You know, they're playing a boxing one. They're putting one guy on battles and the other 4 playing the zone. Watch it next time down.
Meanwhile, Jeff Arnold bounced pass to the high post into Lejeski, almost stolen away by the Knights. Hawks up by 6 in no particular hurry to get off the shot. Mo Martin, though, has been hot, and he has hit 4 baskets in a row from outside.
Just think how that kid would do, Tommy, if they played that 3-guard offense for 40 minutes.
Oh, my. Well, he's averaging, as I said, 15 points a game, so you knew he had to have some touch on the outside. Eric Riggins tries to get it right back. He doesn't, and St. Joe's Springman is there for the easy rebound. St. Joe's now has a shot to go up by 10. Nobody's had a double-figure lead in this game as yet. Jeff Arnold controlling the basketball. Tries to get it down low. We have a shoving going on between Springman and Andre Bell. They're going to call Springman to St. Joe's with the elbow.
Tommy, with 4:48 left before that clock, 45-second shot clock goes off. You know, again, I mentioned this because of the DePaul win, watching that ball game. When the clock goes off, Jimmy Boyle likes to use that 3-guard attack because they do a very, very good job of holding the ball, taking that good shot. And I think that if he can continue to lead anywhere from 4 to 10 points under that 4-minute mark, he's got a good shot because that 3-guard offense allows him the luxury of being able to spread things out and slow things down.
Andre Bell now with a couple of big foul shots for Rutgers, 1 and 1. First one drops cleanly through. Andre Bell for the year is a 54% foul shooter. Second one is good as well. Make that a 45% foul shooter, so he shot way above his average on that trip to the line. And St. Joe's a turnover. John Battle was pressuring Jeff Arnold, and he made Arnold fidget with the pass and lose it.
Well, one thing you try to avoid is passing across the basket.
All right, Rutgers has a chance to creep back to within 4 here. Ellaby's open. No good off the rim, and Springman gets the rebound, but again loses it out of bounds.
Obviously, though, Tommy, with that 3-guard attack, St. Joe's loses a big man. Here he comes back in the ball game. I think Coach Jim Boyle wants now to, well, he's going to sub a forward for a forward. I thought he might bring in his 3 big men again to control the backcourt.
He's giving him just a little blow in case Costa fouls out.
Here's Steve Perry with a jumper, no good. Wild scramble for the ball, and St. Joe's comes up with it. Wayne Williams. He'll go right to the basket, right at John Battle, and he makes it. Nice move by Wayne Williams.
Battle should have fallen down at that point.
Yeah, he did.
He falls down with less contact.
67 to 59. St. Joe's up again by 8. 8 minutes and 15 seconds left. 4 minutes till the shot clock goes off, and we have a foul call on Maurice Martin as he hacked Eric Riggins on the arm.
Well, I wish you could see that play. I thought he had all ball myself, but
well, all right, let's take a look at it, see who's right, and see who's wrong.
Let's see if we can watch. Now watch this. Watch it. Where did he hit his hand?
Well, they say hand's part of the ball, so
right.
You're all right. That is the 4th personal foul on Maurice Martin, by the way, and coming in to replace him, Jim Flint. James Flint comes off the St. Joe bench, and Martin, of course, has been lighting it up from outside. However, Riggins misses a big foul shot for Rutgers. Chuck, turnovers here in the second half. St. Joe's only committed 5. Rutgers has committed 14.
Rutgers has picked up the tempo quite a bit, Tommy, from the first 20 minutes, and I think that's why the turnovers They're not really a good running ball club.
Wojcicki saves the ball inbounds and gets the shot off. No good. We have a jump ball situation. And I believe it will go to Rutgers on the change of possession. Yes, it will. We have a timeout on the floor. 7 minutes, 50 seconds left to go in this game. With the score, St. Joseph's 67 and Rutgers 59. We'll be back with more Atlantic 10 Conference basketball on TBS in just one moment.
For Sheriff Duval, use Clarlac the pickup to make the pickup. There's Gulf's Super Unleaded, the gas with guts. For absent-minded Professor Doyle, who never remembered to check her oil, Gulf's full-service dealers check it for her. For Morton Mitchell, who demands the right gas, but at the right price, Gulf self-service makes more sense for less sense.
Gulf, everything we do makes driving better for you.
This high-energy experimental car stays efficient only if its spark plugs stay alive. Plugs capable of surviving surges to 38,000 volts, Motorcraft. Extended tip. Engineered to conserve fuel, Motorcraft Extended Tip ruthlessly eliminates power-blocking sooty carbon without eliminating itself in the process. Quality parts for all makes of cars. Motorcraft exceeds the need.
No, this is not American Bandstand. It's college basketball, Atlantic 10 style. Scarlet Knights cheerleaders, though, think they're on Bandstand, don't they? That's some good moves down there in the baseline.
Well, right now they're 8 down. I don't know what they're so happy about.
Let me correct the stat that I messed up a minute ago. In the second half, St. Joseph's has 5 turnovers, 14 for the game. In the game against St. Bonaventure, Chuck, St. Joe's had 18 turnovers, which can't make Jimmy Boyle pleased, but their defense held St. Bonaventure to only 35% shooting, so his defense has been consistent.
They played good defense today, Tommy. They lead the conference in that department, giving up to 64 a game. Rutgers is 59 right now, so they're right on stage here with their defense for a 40-minute ball game.
All right, here's Eric Riggins, low post right over Tony Costner, and he draws Rutgers back within 6. Riggins didn't hesitate.
Well, it's a smart play. Costner's got 4 fouls.
That's right. He figures he won't touch him.
And he didn't.
And he won't.
St. Joseph's attacking now. Wojcicki going for that shot from the left wing, and he hits over Eddie Zucker. Gives St. Joe's the 8-point lead again, 69-61. Ellaby now. Bounce pass to Zucker into Riggins in the low post again. They're going right at Tony Costner. You can see it, but Zucker is there for the weak side rebound and lays it in. Good presence of mind by Zucker right after making the pass to be in position for a rebound.
Well, he hangs around. He's a garbage player.
James Flint and Wayne Williams are now in the backcourt along with Jeff Arnold, the 3-guard offense for Jimmy Boyle's St. Joe Hawks. And here's a steal by Steve Perry as he strips Jeff Arnold, and he'll hold it up. Smart move there, and now he gives it right back again. Wojcicki forces a steal. James Flint down the lane right at Ellaby. No, but Ellaby's called for the foul. He had to do it. Flint will go to the line shooting 2. So it could have been a 4-point game. Could go back up to 8.
That's tough play.
Tough break. Nice steal. Second time Perry has stolen the ball, and second time Perry has given the ball up with a turnover. Nice defensive piece of work. Now the drive to the basket. Ellaby will commit the foul. Nothing Brian can do. You see Perry coming back to help out. Pretty good foul, I think, Red, in this situation. Make him make the 2 free throws.
Well, that was a tough foul because it now puts Rutgers in a penalty position.
James Flint sinks the first. And Steve Brown comes in for Brian Ellaby. You know, Rutgers does not have a senior on their team, so everybody will be back next year. James Flint misses the second. The rebound by Williams, no, and he commits the foul over the back of Eric Riggins. So now Riggins will go to the line to shoot 1-1 for Rutgers.
You know, Tom, what I think is tremendously overrated, when they start talking about so many freshmen and so many sophomores and the whole team will be back, I don't buy that. I really don't. Because there are a lot of great freshmen right now coming in, playing around the country. What's the difference? A lot of times, by the time they're seniors, they're bored. You've heard of senioritis, where senior ball clubs, who should be great, are terrible. I'd like to have those sophomores in there, freshmen, juniors.
They're still interested in things, is what you're saying.
That's right.
Now the foul shot, and Riggins missed again on the 1-and-1. Eric's had a tough time at the line today. Tony Costner ripped off the rebound. St. Joe's up by 7 and in control right now. And now, Chuck, it looks like they're going into a bit of a delay.
They do this well, Tommy. Again, 2 minutes to go before the clock comes off, but I can say they normally do that well.
Well, Ed Zucker stole the ball that time, and now Rutgers has a shot to creep back within 5.
Still, though, a 7-point lead with 6 to go. I think still a little too soon to start that delay game.
Yeah, I would agree with you.
Long time left, especially when you play a ball club like Rutgers, who has won 4 out of 5 here at Rutgers. They've won some ball games in the last 2 or 3 minutes.
Eric Riggins gets it down low, forces it up, but he is fouled. Somebody was hanging on his arm, and that somebody is Wayne Williams, who doesn't like the call at all.
Eric did a nice job to get the ball out of his hands to get the 2-shot foul. Riggins trapped right here. Watch him get the ball up right. There you go. Get the ball up there and get that two-point play. 2 free throws.
That is the 4th personal foul on Wayne Williams. Maurice Martin is already on the bench for St. Joe's, and Wayne Williams stays in the ball game.
You see, you got 5 minutes and 52 seconds. The clock goes off. I would kill time. I really would.
Would you?
So as long as I'm not breaking anyway, and I'm ahead, I might as well waste about 35 seconds before I make a play. Then the next time I get the ball, I'll go into a stall. Let him foul me.
Eric Riggins makes the first foul shot. He's only a 53% foul shooter.
He gets down too low. See, he's got a big distance with his body to shoot it.
That time he makes 2 for 2. On the day, though, he's not shooting that well, but Rutgers is back in this ball game.
Here's a 3-on-2. See, they won't do it. They'll hold up. See?
Yep. St. Joe's is holding up. Costner is playing a high post.
That's exactly where Rutgers wants, Tony, in the high post.
Costner now has the ball stolen away by Riggins. And stolen by James Flint, and Eric Riggins fouls him. Oh, what a play by little 5'9" James Flint.
Oh, he didn't see him.
That's right.
He really didn't see him.
That's the 4th personal foul on Riggins. Let's take a look at that play again.
Yeah, he makes a bad pass. Intercepted by Riggins. And he didn't see him. He's too small for him.
Never saw him.
Dribbles to that ball so far away from his body that for a guy like Riggins that big, just clutch the ball, hold the ball, and give it to a teammate, give it to a guard.
Sure, they're not breaking anyway, Chuck.
Eric Riggins now has 4 personals. James Flint makes the first shot, and John Battle comes back into this game for Steve Brown as Tom Young needs some outside ammunition. Chris Remley also being allowed in.
Talk about outside ammunition, Tom. That's exactly the reason Perry sits on the bench and Chris Remley comes in. Tom Young figures you get Chris Remley hot, and we can beat anybody. Sass Digger Phelps.
Yeah, Digger knows that real well. James Flint, second shot is good as well, 72-65. St. Joe up by 7, 5.5 to go. A minute and a half till the shot clock goes off. Remley to Riggins. He'll drive to the basket right away, and he draws the foul from Flint. And Eric Riggins' adventure at the foul line will continue.
The way this game is going, if I were Rutgers, every time I get the ball, I'm going to go to the hoop. They're going to give me a foul.
Sure.
But what St. Joe's got to do now is go into a delay game and pick up a foul every time. And if they miss them, they'll get beat. If they don't, they'll win. Simple as that.
Riggins again with 2 big foul shots to draw Rutgers back within 5 if he makes them.
No.
Oh, way short. You can see that the moment it left his hand, but a big break for Rutgers because the rebound goes out off a St. Joseph's man. It'll be Rutgers ball.
You know, Tom, when I coached, the worst thing that bothered me was when a team missed a free throw and they got the ball. That bothered me more than any single thing in the game.
Giving him a second chance, and you can't do that with good personnel. Ryan Ellaby, an uncharacteristically long shot for him, but Remley gets the rebound and misses what should be an easy shot for him. St. Joe's comes down with it. Jim Flynn over to Lejeski. Boy, the Hawks make a basket here. They could really almost sew this thing up. Costner has it stolen away again, but up with it is Jeff Arnold. Puts up a wild shot over the backboard. And they say that the ball was last touched by a Rutgers man on its way up. It'll be St. Joe ball.
St. Joe ought to call a timeout right now and get this game under control.
Well, they got a TV timeout coming up soon, but the inbounds pass stolen by Rutgers. Here goes Remley, and Remley has it stolen away, and a great play by James Flint. He knocks it out of bounds. Flint thought it should be St. Joe's ball. Oh,
hey, that kid is beautiful. Look at him run. Look at him run. He dropped it. He never touched it.
Say, he looks like the Atlantic 10's version of Spud Webb. 5'9", you can't hardly see him out there. We have a whistle and a foul on St. Joe's on the inbound pass. Rutgers has conference games remaining at Massachusetts, which is always an adventure, as James Flint sits down. That's his 5th personal foul. Jimmy Flint's now out of the ball game. And Rutgers will also host Rhode Island. St. Joe's has West Virginia at the Palestra next week, and also has Temple at the Palestra next Saturday night. What a ball game that ought to be, Chuck.
Certainly will be, Tommy. Both those ball clubs right now fighting not only to get that edge in the conference tournament, but also for a postseason berth. How about Massachusetts, Tom? You know how well they play at home. They're 10-1 at home this year. They wind up the season hosting Temple and St. Joe's with a chance to knock off the top 2 teams in the conference.
Well, they've already beaten St. Joseph's. They do host Temple on Monday night. And you fans in Western Massachusetts, you want to see one of the best basketball teams around in the East, go to the Curry Hicks Cage Monday night, see Temple against Massachusetts. St. Joseph's now, after the missed free throw, Costner driving the baseline, but he took one too many steps. And again, St. Joe's had the chance to put on the crusher and didn't do it.
All they got to do is hold the ball. He's signaling him from the bench. You don't need any more. You can win this game with 72 unless they foul you.
All right, 4:25 left. The shot clock is now off. It is no longer a factor. Rutgers, of course, won't waste much time. Remley's open from the baseline, and he hits it. 72-67. Let's see if Tom Young goes with a press in the backcourt. No, not this time.
Sure he will. He should.
Look, Tom Young's about 3 feet out on the court, the Rutgers head coach. Nothing's being done. And meanwhile, Costner barrels in along the baseline with a nice layup, and St. Joe's is up by 7.
And a great pass from Mo Martin.
He didn't look like a guy with 4 fouls, Costner, on that play.
Well, Martin made the good play.
Eric Riggins gets a pass and goes to the hoop, but gets his own rebound. And watch this. St. Joe's look like a bunch of bowling pins standing around watching.
Well, they got too many guys with 5 fouls.
Riggins lays it in. That's the bottom line. It's a 5-point game with 3.5 to go. Kickball called on Rutgers. St. Joe's will keep possession. And we have a timeout on the floor with 3 minutes, 31 seconds left to go in this basketball game. Still very much in doubt. St. Joe Hawks are on top, though. The Hawks 74, Rutgers 69. We'll have more Atlantic 10 Conference basketball in a moment.
Every week, Barron's tells you more than what has happened or is happening in investments. Barron's tells you what will happen. A smart investor can take it from there.
You can get the next 26 issues of Barron's for $36. Just call 800-238-7000. Call today, and you'll also get as a bonus the helpful booklet, The ABCs of Market Forecasting. That's 26 issues of Barron's, plus the bonus booklet for just $36. Call 800-238-7000 now.
The New Jersey National Business Banker covers a lot of miles and uses a lot of gallons calling on the companies he works with. You could say he makes house calls to bring all the corporate services of New Jersey National directly and conveniently to the customers he serves. For banking that meets your company more than halfway, get to know the New Jersey National difference. New Jersey National, the Red Circle Bank.
Okay, back here at Rutgers, let's take that last basket by Eric Riggins and watch the effort after the missed shot. Now, Costner is not going to try and foul him. He's got 4 fouls. Ojeski doesn't do anything either, and Riggins lays it up and in. Our final 2 TBS games in the Atlantic 10. I'll be with John Clark next Thursday night at Penn State as the Temple Owls take on the Penn State Nittany Lions. And then Chuck Nagel will join John Sanders in the nation's capital if he can survive Friday night in Georgetown. And it'll be West Virginia at George Washington next Saturday afternoon. Come on, Chuck. You man about town, you. Chuck, I don't hear anything from you. What's the matter, man? All right. Meanwhile, Maurice Martin drives to the hole for St. Joseph's. And Andra Bell is called for the foul. Chuck, let's take another look at this.
Again, Maurice Martin does it so well. He likes to drive the lane. Obviously, when he drives the lane, he knows what Battle knows when he drives the lane. Either you get fouled or you dish it off.
Yeah, but he made sure he didn't get charged. He went out of his way to elude them.
First foul shot by Martin is up and no good. 74-69, the score remains. Second shot is in. It's 75-69. And Rutgers
got to drive to the hoop.
Yeah, they got to do something quickly.
Never mind those shots.
Remley to Zucker, who's open, misses the layup. Oh, that's going to be a big, big play.
Hold it up. Hold it up. That's
now,
right.
St. Joe's is going to run some time.
Hold it up. All right, this kid's good, though. He's good.
Maurice Martin,
yeah.
number 11. Martin almost stolen away by Battle. Here's Jeff Arnold to Costner. Oh, and Tony missed the dunk. And no foul, and it's a turnover. He could have laid that ball in, but he didn't do it.
He had to be hit.
That's four baskets that St. Joe's.
Watch
8 points they've missed because of the dunk. 8 points they could have had with layups instead of dunks. Incredible.
Meanwhile, Zucker down the lane, off the rim and in, and all of a sudden it's a 4-point game again at 75-71.
A 4-point swing there, the miss by Costner and the 2 points by Zucker. Boy,
and here's a steal by Remley, and here goes John Battle for Rutgers. And almost another steal as Ellaby knocks it out of bounds, and St. Joseph's is rattled on the inbounds play, and we have a timeout called by Jimmy Boyle. Listen to this crowd.
You know what hurts you, Tommy and Red? The fact that Costner's got 4 fouls, and I think, Red, you'll agree that when you've got 4 fouls at this stage of the game, you've got to play like you've got no fouls. You can't let a guy go right by you and not foul him. You've got to cream the guy or do something so you foul out. You cannot allow yourself to play defense like you've got 4 fouls. You've got nothing
because
to lose.
the other team knows it.
Exactly.
And they'll take advantage of it. Ridiculous.
All right, Red. If you're the coach of St. Joseph's, Jimmy Boyle, a team that has rattled now these last 2 times and has had trouble in the inbounds pass, what do you tell them? What do you tell them to do here?
They made the mistake before. They didn't have to take a shot at all. They had the ball game in hand. Now, if they got an easy shot, they got to take it or draw a foul. I would give the ball into the hands of Martin. Let him make the decision. Let him go by, dish off, get it, throw it back out, kill some time until Rutgers will get rattled, and then they'll grab anybody. And then you win or lose it on the free throw line.
All right, let's take a look at the last basket off the steal by Rutgers that led to a layup by John Battle and brought Rutgers within 2. There's Maurice Martin, Remley with a nice play from behind, and immediately he sees Battle, and Battle makes no mistake against Costner.
Tony Costner must attempt to play some defense. That's terrible, the way you play like you've got 4 fouls. Tommy, quickly in scoring, St. Joe's led by Costner, 19, Springman 17, Bo Martin 14 for Rutgers, 4 in double figures. Battle with 25, Riggins 13, Zucker 11, Remley 10. Great scoring day for both ball clubs, but it's going to come down to, I think you mentioned it, Red, 2 things. How well can St. Joe's shoot free throws? If they shoot it well, they win. If they don't, they lose. And can Rutgers get the ball back quickly enough to score points?
All right, Jimmy Boyle, you could see a moment ago, went out on the court with his charges to give him a couple of last-second instructions, probably on how to execute this inbounds play. They have 5 seconds to do it, and they just do it. Maurice Martin and Lejeski back to Martin.
Martin's got the ball, just like I told you.
2:20 to go, 2-point lead for St. Joseph's.
This is the point of the game you would think when St. Joe's would go to the 3-guard offense.
Zucker stole it, and here's John Battle. Oh my, Chuck, this is one of the biggest turnarounds we've seen in our Atlantic 10 games this year.
They did so well with the 3-guard offense. Now they've got the 3 big men in. Why not go with your 3 guards in this stage of the ball game?
Lejeski for St. Joe's. Let's see if the Hawks keep their cool under pressure now. The crowd is really into it. Another steal for the Scarlet Knights. John Battle all the way. And a foul is called on Kevin Springman. As Battle was going to give Rutgers the lead, Springman did the only thing that he could do.
The play right there, I think the St. Joe's people have a legitimate gripe. The foul not called on Perry. Watch now the block by Springman, and then the foul. From that angle, it looks as if it was a good block, but he got the body contact.
Well, there's a telling factor in this ball game. St. Joseph's now has guilty red of 22 turnovers. In effect, they have given, and I stress that word given, Rutgers a chance to beat them today.
Well, they got a good chance because they got the most logical guy to shoot the free throws, whether he makes it or not.
Yep.
He's the guy you want on the line.
And Rutgers has the lead. They were down in this game by as many as 9 points just a few minutes ago, and now they are in the lead by 1. By 2. Rutgers 77, St. Joseph 75, and they are going nuts in Piscataway.
What a big win, Tommy. It could be for Rutgers with that postseason tournament in 2 weeks. They want to be one of the top 6 ball clubs, and this win gives them a good shot to be one of the top 6.
All right, here's Springman at the high post left. Back out to Costner. We have 1:20 to go. Rutgers by 2. Another pass is intercepted by Steve Perry of Rutgers, but he stepped out of bounds.
Great defense. Great defense. Perry has given this ball club steady defense the entire game. He likewise has 4 fouls.
1:15 to go, and St. Joe's will have it.
The difference so far, Perry doesn't play as if he's got 4 fouls. Tony Costner has.
All right, Maurice Martin over to Lechensky. This is Springman. Bodies hit the floor, no foul, and a turnover, St. Joseph's. Costner passing down low to Lechensky, and he couldn't handle the pass. And now Rutgers has a chance to run some time down. Look at this pass.
Pretty good pass by Costner.
It was a good idea. He just made a bad pass.
I think Lechensky thought Tony was going to shoot the ball.
Yeah. All right, now Rutgers is at home. We have less than a minute to go. No shot clock. Let's see if Tom Young runs some time off. He's got the 2-point lead. He's setting up a double high post, but Ed Zucker flashes to the baseline, but he doesn't shoot. Red, they're not going to take another shot unless they have to.
Oh, that's what St. Joe should have been doing.
Steve Perry has the ball batted away by Maurice Martin, and it's still Rutgers ball, 37 seconds left.
You have to think now if you're St. Joe's, who do we foul? There's any one of 2 or 3 ball players out there who don't shoot good free throws. You've got to start fouling, I'd say maybe in 10 to 15 seconds.
Double teaming the ball, that's what St. Joe's has to do. Ellaby is fouled from behind by Jeff Arnold.
One guy you don't want to foul, John Battle. He's 13 out of 15 today from the free throw line. Ellerby, I don't think has been there much, but he shoots 72%. But as Red mentioned, at this stage of the ball game, forget the percentages from the free throw line.
Just foul anybody and foul them quick.
All right, this is the situation. 28 seconds left in regulation. Rutgers at home, itching for the upset. They have a 2-point lead over St. Joe's. Ellaby makes these 2. It could lock it up. Well, I'll tell you, you folks in the Morgantown, West Virginia area, look out for Rutgers. This team is playing great basketball right now. They could be a force in the tournament. Ellaby makes both foul shots. 79-75, 25 seconds left. St. Joe's can't waste any time. Maurice Martin doesn't, but he misses the shot. Springman with the rebound, and he is fouled with 17 seconds left.
Good effort by Kevin Springman on the missed shot by Martin. Obviously, you don't get the rebound and be able a chance to put it back in right there. The game's over. 2 free throws now, cuts it to 2, but obviously, Tommy, the way that Kevin Springman has been confident in free throws today, things look good for Rutgers.
Steve Perry has committed his 5th personal foul. He is now out of the basketball game. And Kevin Springman will be on the foul line. Of course, Tom Young has some time to make a substitute, and he's using it. Take a look at Kevin Springman and his effort underneath.
Good second effort by Springman in the left-hand side of your screen. And the 5th foul on Steve Perry. Perry played very well with 4 fouls, didn't he? He really played well.
Okay.
If he makes these 2, or 1, or none, you got to foul right away, without a second going off the clock. I don't care who you foul.
Steve Brown, the freshman, enters the game for Tom Young. He now has 3 guards in there: Brown, Battle, and Ellaby, and we have a timeout called by Rutgers. Tom Young wants to have a chance to set up his offense after the foul shots by St. Joseph. There's the Rutgers huddle.
Well, what St. Joe should do right now is take Tony Costa out. take him out, put a kid in the foul. And then when you foul, put Costa back in. See what I mean?
Yep.
So why have him in there now? Because he's got a foul and he'll get out.
How loud is it here? This young lady's holding her ears. I'll tell you, they have their best crowd of the season here at Rutgers, 6,749 paid, and they sound more like 16,000. Of course, Red, you're familiar with this facility. For many years, the Nets had to play here before their Meadowlands Arena was done. This is just a great basketball facility.
It really is. It really is. But you see, the acoustics are such that you feel that there's more than 6,000 people here. Because it's an enclosed building. It's a basketball facility. It's not a wide open arena. So the noise is tremendous.
Timeout statistics. Rutgers has 1 timeout left. St. Joe's has 2, and there's 17 seconds left in regulation. And St. Joe's down by 4, and of course, obviously, Springman has to make these 2 for the Hawks to have a realistic chance to win, or to even force an overtime. The crowd is chanting air ball, waving their arms behind the basket, chanting air ball, because Springman threw up an air ball from the foul line earlier in the game. They can be awfully cruel to you on the road, can't they? Springman misses the first one.
Well, it's a tough miss, because now even if he does make this one, you're down 3. It's almost impossible with 17 seconds to go in this situation to win a ball game. That was a big free throw right there.
Second one no good also. Rebound by Lojeski of St. Joe's, and he's fouled underneath. Oh, St. Joe's got a break there. Steve Brown is going to be called for the foul, and Lojeski goes to the line shooting 1-1.
You know, it's ironic, Tom, because Springman, you mentioned some past ball games. Springman has won basketball games to this ball club by making literally last second free throws. Here he misses 2, and I think he was lucky he missed the second one, because now they've got a chance to make 2 more.
Now 13 seconds on the clock now. Off the rim, no good. So St. Joe's has killed themselves at the foul line and with turnover. Rutgers now would just run the clock out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That is the end of the ball game. And they love it in Piscataway, New Jersey. Listen to this crowd. Our final score from the Rutgers Athletic Center in Piscataway, New Jersey. Another upset in the Atlantic 10. The Scarlet Knights of Rutgers, 79. The St. Joe Hawks, 75. For Chuck Nagel and Red Auerbach, I'm Tom Mees. Thanks for being with us. We'll see you Thursday night from Penn State.